Welcome to the United States of obesity, folks. The land where supersized portions are the norm, where fast food joints outnumber gyms, and where willpower is about as common as a unicorn sighting. But what if I told you this isn't just about weak-minded individuals succumbing to temptation? What if there's a darker, more sinister force at play? I've spent the last 3 months to infiltrate the heart of this obesity epidemic, and what I've discovered will make your blood boil. McAllen, Texas, the sugar-coated empire of obesity. McAllen, Texas, the undisputed heavyweight champion of American obesity. This sun-baked city boasts a staggering obesity rate of nearly 50%, a number that would make even the most hardened fitness guru break a sweat. But this isn't just a story of weak wills and oversized appetites. No, my friends, this is a tale of corporate manipulation, political backroom deals, and a healthcare system that profits from our expanding waistlines. McAllen is a sugar-coated dystopia, where soda is cheaper than water and fast food joints outnumber gyms. Children are bombarded with advertisements for sugary cereals and candy bars, while their parents struggle to put fresh food on the table. The result? A generation of kids growing up with a taste for junk and a future filled with chronic disease. But it's not just the kids who are suffering. McAllen's adults are caught in a vicious cycle of poverty, poor nutrition, and inadequate health care. Diabetes is rampant, amputations are commonplace, and life expectancy is plummeting. Is this the price we pay for convenience and the illusion of choice? McAllen is a microcosm of everything that's wrong with America's food system. It's a place where corporations dictate our diets, politicians turn a blind eye, and the health of our citizens is sacrificed on the altar of profit. But the people of McAllen are not statistics. They're not victims. They're fighters, and they're not going down without a fight. Huntington, West Virginia, the opioid abyss of despair. Deep in the heart of Appalachia lies Huntington, West Virginia, a city ravaged by the opioid epidemic. Here, addiction and despair fuel a culture of unhealthy coping mechanisms. Fast food, cheap and readily available, becomes a solace, a fleeting escape from the crushing weight of reality. The individuals who succumb to the allure of painkillers or the pharmaceutical companies that flooded the market with these highly addictive drugs? Is it the residents who turn to fast food for comfort, or the corporations that peddle their poison in every corner of this struggling city? Huntington is a cautionary tale of what happens when hope is replaced with hopelessness, when healthy choices are replaced with empty calories. But amidst the darkness, there are glimmers of light. Community activists are fighting back, offering support and resources to those struggling with addiction. Local farmers are providing fresh, healthy food to those in need. And a new generation is rising up, determined to break the cycle of despair and build a healthier future for their city. Shreveport, Louisiana, the deep-fried capital of denial. Shreveport, Louisiana, a city where deep-fried indulgence is a way of life. From fried chicken to fried catfish, fried okra to fried pickles, every meal is a celebration of crispy, greasy goodness. But is this culinary tradition a source of pride or a recipe for disaster? Behind the facade of Southern charm and hospitality lies a disturbing truth. Shreveport is drowning in a sea of unhealthy food. Fast food chains dominate the landscape, offering cheap, calorie-laden meals that are hard to resist. Obesity rates are soaring, and chronic diseases like heart disease and diabetes are taking a devastating toll. But who's really to blame? Is it the residents who cling to their deep-fried traditions, or the corporations that profit from their addiction? Is it the lack of access to healthy options, or the relentless marketing that promotes unhealthy food as a symbol of Southern identity? Shreveport is at a crossroads. Will it continue down the path of deep-fried destruction, or will it rise above the grease and embrace a healthier future? Mobile, Alabama, Mardi Gras madness and the portion distortion pandemic. The birthplace of Mardi Gras, where excess is a way of life and indulgence is practically a civic duty. This city of parades and parties prides itself on its rich culinary heritage, a vibrant tapestry of flavors and traditions passed down through generations. But beneath the festive facade lies a disturbing truth. Mobile is a city under siege, a victim of a sinister conspiracy known as portion distortion. From towering po' boys overflowing with fried seafood to colossal platters of shrimp and grits, Mobile's restaurants have turned excess into an art form. But who's really pulling the strings behind this culinary carnival? Could it be the food industry, fattening our wallets and our waistlines with their supersized servings and bottomless refills? Mobile's residents are caught in a web of temptation, lured by the siren song of unlimited appetizers and all-you-can-eat buffets. But are they simply weak-willed gluttons? Or have they been conditioned to overeat by a system that prioritizes profit over health? The consequences are devastating. Obesity rates are soaring, heart disease is rampant, and diabetes is running unchecked. Mobile's healthcare system is buckling under the strain, and the economic cost of this health crisis is staggering. But it's not just about the numbers. It's about the lives being lost, the families being torn apart, and the potential being squandered. Mobile, Alabama is a city in crisis, a city fighting for its very soul. Will it succumb to the seductive siren song of excess? Or will it rise above the temptation and reclaim its health? Jackson, Mississippi, the poverty-stricken battleground of hunger. Welcome to Jackson, Mississippi, the poorest state in the nation. Here, food insecurity and economic hardship have created a perfect storm of unhealthy living. Fast food is the cheapest, most convenient option for many, but at what cost? Jackson is a city of stark contrasts. On one hand, you have the gleaming skyscrapers and bustling businesses of downtown. On the other, you have neighborhoods plagued by poverty, crime, and a lack of access to fresh, healthy food. Grocery stores are few and far between, replaced by corner stores stocked with processed junk and sugary drinks. The result? A population struggling with obesity, diabetes, and a host of other chronic diseases. But are the residents of Jackson to blame for their poor health? Or are they victims of a system that denies them access to the basic necessities of life? Jackson is a city under siege, but it's also a city of resilience. Community gardens are sprouting up, providing fresh produce to those in need. Food pantries are offering healthy alternatives to fast food. And local activists are fighting for policy changes that will address the root causes of food insecurity and poverty. Knoxville, Tennessee, the sugar-fueled playground of corporate greed. A city that prides itself on its southern hospitality and vibrant culture. But beneath the friendly smiles and sweet tea lies a dark secret. Knoxville is a playground for corporate greed, where sugary drinks flow freely and children are being sacrificed on the altar of profit. Walk down any street in Knoxville and you'll be bombarded with advertisements for soda, energy drinks, and other sugary concoctions. Convenience stores are overflowing with these liquid calories, while schools and community centers often lack access to clean drinking water. The result? A generation of children growing up with a taste for sugar and a future filled with obesity, diabetes, and tooth decay. But who's responsible for this sugary onslaught? Follow the money trail, and you'll find a network of powerful corporations, lobbyists, and politicians working together to keep the sugary drinks flowing. These companies spend millions of dollars each year to influence public policy, sponsor sporting events, and target vulnerable communities with their deceptive marketing tactics. The consequences are devastating. Knoxville's healthcare system is being overwhelmed by the rising tide of diet-related diseases. Children are developing type 2 diabetes at alarming rates, and adults are suffering from heart disease, stroke, and other chronic conditions. But the human cost goes far beyond the medical bills. Knoxville is losing its vitality, its energy, its very soul. Parents are fighting back against sugary drinks in schools, and a new generation of health-conscious entrepreneurs is offering alternatives to the sugary status quo. The battle for Knoxville's health is far from over, but the fight has just begun. Memphis, Tennessee, the barbecue belt of broken hearts. It is known as the birthplace of rock and roll and the home of mouth-watering barbecue. But this city's love affair with smoky, savory meats comes at a steep price. Memphis is also the heart of the stroke belt, a region plagued by high rates of heart disease, stroke, and other cardiovascular conditions. Walk down Beale Street and you'll be greeted by the tantalizing aroma of ribs, pulled pork, and brisket. But behind the scenes, a silent killer is at work. Memphis's diet, rich in saturated fat and cholesterol, is taking a devastating toll on the health of its residents. But it's not just the barbecue that's to blame. Memphis is a city of stark contrasts, where poverty and affluence coexist side by side. The poorest neighborhoods lack access to fresh, healthy food, while fast food chains and convenience stores proliferate. The result? A population divided by income and health disparities. Healthy cooking classes are teaching residents how to prepare nutritious meals on a budget, and a new generation of chefs is reimagining Southern cuisine, creating dishes that are both delicious and heart-healthy. The battle for Memphis's health is a battle for its soul. Will this city continue to cling to its unhealthy traditions, or will it embrace a new era of culinary innovation and healthy living? The answer may very well determine the fate of an entire region. Lafayette, Louisiana, the Cajun cauldron of culinary deception. A city where Cajun cuisine reigns supreme. Spicy gumbo, crawfish étouffée, and boudin are just a few of the mouth-watering dishes that define this vibrant culinary landscape. But is this rich, flavorful cuisine a blessing or a curse? Beneath the surface of Lafayette's culinary charm lies a disturbing truth. The traditional Cajun diet, heavy in fat, sodium, and processed meats, is a recipe for disaster. Obesity rates are soaring, heart disease is rampant, and diabetes is taking a devastating toll. Is the residents who cling to their beloved culinary traditions, or the food industry that exploits our cultural heritage for profit, should be blamed? Are we simply victims of our own taste buds, or are we being manipulated by a system that prioritizes flavor over health? Lafayette is at a crossroads. Will it continue to celebrate its culinary past, or will it embrace a new era of healthy, sustainable cuisine? The answer may very well determine the fate of an entire culture. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where childhood obesity is a ticking time bomb. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, a city where childhood obesity is reaching epidemic proportions. Children are growing up in a world of fast food playgrounds, sugary cereal mascots, and endless advertisements for junk food. But are parents to blame for their children's expanding waistlines, or are they victims of a system that preys on their vulnerabilities? Baton Rouge is a city where healthy choices are often the most difficult choices. Fresh produce is expensive and hard to find in many neighborhoods. Fast food is cheap, convenient, and aggressively marketed to children. Schools are cutting back on physical education programs, and children are spending more time in front of screens than ever before. The consequences are devastating. Children are developing type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, and other chronic diseases at alarming rates. Their self-esteem is suffering, their academic performance is declining, and their futures are being compromised. Parents are demanding healthier options in schools. Community organizations are offering programs to promote physical activity and healthy eating. And a new generation of health-conscious leaders is rising up, determined to create a brighter future for their children. Chattanooga, Tennessee, the scenic city with a secret struggle. A picturesque city nestled in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. With its stunning natural beauty and thriving art scene, Chattanooga seems like a picture of health and vitality. But beneath the surface, a silent epidemic is raging. Chattanooga is a city of stark contrasts. On one hand, you have the affluent neighborhoods with their upscale restaurants and boutique fitness studios. On the other, you have low-income communities struggling with food insecurity, lack of access to healthcare, and high rates of obesity and chronic disease. But who's responsible for this disparity? Is it simply a matter of individual choices, or are there deeper systemic forces at play? Could it be that Chattanooga's economic inequalities and lack of investment in public health are fueling this health crisis? Chattanooga is a city at a crossroads. Will it continue to ignore the plight of its most vulnerable residents, or will it embrace a more equitable and inclusive approach to health? The answer may very well determine the future of this scenic city. This isn't a top 10 list anyone wants to be on. Check out this next video on the American foods banned overseas.